What a day. We have come to the end of the day on Friday, but we still have a treat in store for you. So good afternoon. My name is Joel Mitchell. For those who are not I haven't met yet, and I serve as the assistant director for the INCORE ISCORE office. And on behalf of the ISCORE committee, I'd like to welcome you to our closing reception. It's my honor today to introduce the Brenda Jones Change Agent Award. Traditionally, on each half of the year, Iowa State University professor Brenda Jones, she lives in Rome, Italy, where she teaches students from a range of different disciplines in the College of Design Rome program, where she's given her dedication for over 30 plus years here at Iowa State University. And her paintings exhibited nationally and internationally are often created with a medium of pastels. She explores figurative compositions, which express her love of color and her concerns about human relationships. Brenda Jones' original paintings for ISCORE can be seen and displayed all across campus. In 2012, the INCORE ISCORE Brenda Jones Changing Award was created, honoring Brenda Jones as the first recipient. And this award recognizes an INCORE ISCORE student alumni who continues to contribute to the understanding and awareness of topics related to race and ethnicity, and has created change in their community. So it's my honor today to present the Brenda Jones Change Agent Award to Nadine Beasley, Paloma Mate Kojo, and Madeline Spikes. Nadine Beasley is currently a junior majoring in microbiology within the College of Agriculture and Life Sciences. She first participated in the INCORE ISCORE project last year and now serves as an INCORE ISCORE office ambassador. Along with that, Nadine is an active on campus in various aspects as she serves as a treasurer for Phi chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, vice president and treasurer of the National Panhellenic Council, Focused Learning Community, peer mentor, a member of Lead It, and she's both a science-bound and McNair scholar. She shared her experience at INCORE, helped enhance her views on race and ethnicity, and has been happy to be able to bring those back to Iowa State. Outside of Iowa State, Nadine serves as the mission president for the East 17th Street Church of God in Christ, where she does various programs for the Des Moines community. Last year, from May to October, Nadine gave out boxes of food every Thursday to anyone who needed it. Her latest project was in December, where in one day she was able to hand out over 1,200 gallons of milk and 900 boxes of food, including meat and produce. Paloma Mate Kojo is a class of 2021 graduates. Big job, excited for her. Ever since she was given the opportunity to attend INCORE in the summer of 2018, Paloma has enjoyed the journey of further educating herself and those around her on racial injustices. She joined the INCORE ISCORE office as an office ambassador to help advise the next two cohorts and educate other students and community members on the project experience. She's a George Washington Carver Scholar and an active on campus, a community advisor and a board member for the YWCA Ames ISU. She has been involved in the Freshman Action Team for the Black Student Alliance, the Student Government Diversity and Inclusion Committee, as well as a member of the Women of Color Network. Paloma has presented at ISCORE all 4 years of attending Iowa State and has helped organize and facilitate the 2020 MORA panel, Owning Your Experience. Paloma will carry this passion of constant education beyond Iowa State as she plans to find ways to better human health and protect the planet through education and content creation. Madeline Spikes is a senior in sociology pre-nursing. Madeline came to Iowa State the summer before her freshman year to participate in the Advanced Program for Excellence, or known as APEX, where she first became acquainted with multicultural community on campus. In the fall, Madeline transitioned from APEX Scholar to a George Washington Carver Academy Scholar. Through her engagement with the GWC Scholarship Program, Madeline received the distinct opportunity to participate in the poster presentations of the 2018 Iowa State Conference on Race and Ethnicity. Following her experience at ISCORE, she applied to attend the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity the following summer. Madeline's experience in New Orleans for INCORE 2018 was integral to her growth and development as both a student and a campus leader. The next academic year, Madeline and a team of peers conducted research on effects of colorism in the Latinx community, and she presented the findings alongside her team in ISCORE 2019. Outside of her engagement with INCORE, Madeline is a student and a campus leader with the Department of Residence as a community advisor in Helzer Hall, and for the Dean of Students Office as a student office ambassador. Following her graduation this spring, Madeline intends to return to her native home of Texas, where she'll begin working as a nurse aide before going to obtain an advanced degree in nursing. Congratulations to Nadine, Paloma, and Madeline of this year's 2021 INCORE ISCORE Brenda Jones Change Engine Award recipients. Now I'd like to turn it over to our current cohort student, Jada, to introduce the closing reception keynote speaker.
All right, thank you, Joelle. So first off, I'd like to introduce myself. So my name is Jada Simone and I am a sophomore here, majoring in kinesiology and health. And today I have the utmost pleasure to introduce today's closing reception speaker, Senior Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Toya Younger. So Dr. Younger assumed the position of Senior Vice President for Student Affairs at Iowa State University on August 17, 2020. In this role, she provides strategic leadership to the division, which encompasses a broad and diverse portfolio of units, offices, and teams organized into 3 units that include the Dean of Students Office, Student Health and Wellness, and Campus Life, each led by an Associate Vice President. Dr. Younger joined the American Association of State Colleges and Universities in 2016 after serving an Associate Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs at Minnesota State Colleges and Universities, including an 11th-month appointment as Interim Chief Diversity Officer. She also held positions as Assistant Provost for Academic Affairs at Towson University in Maryland and Director of Student Affairs for the Association of Public and Land Grant Universities. So please join me in giving a large warm welcome to Dr. Younger.
Thank you so much for that introduction. I am so pleased to be here with you all today. As shared in my introduction, my name is Dr. Toya Younger, and I am the Senior Vice President for Student Affairs here at Iowa State University. Before I begin, I'd like to thank Japana for inviting me to share some remarks with you today. He asked me to specifically address our students who are here with us, but I hope that all of you watching will take away feelings of hope and action once we end today. So here we are at the end of the 2021 ISCORE. You just witnessed a top-notch, unique, and powerful conference, unlike anything across higher education. This one-of-a-kind experience continues to make meaningful impact on our campus and make a profound imprint on those who attend. Like many of you, I am inspired, re-energized, and motivated to continue the conversation on race and ethnicity here at Iowa State University. I leave this experience with a list of ideas to remain committed to and ways to initiate change. I hope you do as well. We are privileged to have a conference like ISCORE that sets the stage each year to have a dialogue on these important topics. We are so fortunate to have amazing staff, faculty, and students who presented thought-provoking and enlightening sessions right here on campus. Thank you to those of you who spent time sharing with us in order for us all to gain a better understanding of those with different experiences and how we can learn new ways to improve our campus. Due to the unwavering commitment from faculty, staff, and students over the past 21 years, we have established this conference as an ISU staple, and we are thrilled to have the newest members of our Cyclone family join us for the first time this year. This was my first ISCORE conference, and I was blown away by the content of the keynote speakers in various sessions, including Dr. Lawrence discussing one of my favorite shows, This Is Us, which makes me cry every Tuesday night. However, It made me think more deeply about the representation of people of color, and I know I will watch that show with more intent, even through my tears. I hope the past 3 days have served as a reminder that our attention and dedication to these conversations and to the significant work around race and ethnicity need to continue now more than ever. Our nation is at a pivotal time where we are starting to have deep and painful conversations about our past. Racism, oppression, systemic policies disenfranchising people of color, and varying levels of access to resources are not new in the United States. This nation was created by systems where some people benefited more than others from various laws. Many act surprised when year after year they learn about a policy or a law that is not inclusive of all people. They are shocked to learn that basic needs such as housing, access to food, a right to a fair trial, and employment are not accessible to all people of color. These concerns, worries, and anxieties have continued for years as some leaders and policymakers continue to turn a blind eye on ensuring equal access for everyone. Over time, we have made small steps, but even in 2021, we still have a long way to go. Thanks to social media, more people watch examples of racism and oppression play out on the national stage. Social media opened a door to a place where many had not walked before. In the summer of 2020, we witnessed horrific scenes leading to the death of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery, just to name a few. We watched Black people bird watching, jogging, out minding their own business, and they were assaulted, spit on, and hurt. Day after day, we saw and continue to see racism play out in our streets, businesses, schools, and places of worship. Social media became a tool to see the world differently. Many of my white colleagues shared that they had not seen such disgusting examples of hate before this summer. But people of color have been raising concerns of police violence, aggression, and racial profiling for years. Some people just didn't see it until it played out in real time. Throughout the summer, Black Lives Matter protests popped up all across the country. People of all races, gender identities, and abilities came together in solidarity in the middle of a pandemic to express their disappointment with our system. The energy was unlike anything I had ever seen before. The demands of the movement did motivate some change throughout our country, but what happened at the protest, specifically the violence and the tension between police and protesters, showed us once again the deep-rooted issues of racism and privilege in our country. Then, this January, we watched the US Capitol stormed by insurrectionists. We watched hundreds of people trample on the floors of our democracy. Some even sought to violently attack people who were just doing their jobs to certify an election. We watched in horror because we had never seen the sacred grounds of our nation flooded by domestic terrorists and some members of that mob who were not treated the same way as the BLM protesters were treated the summer before. These two powerful moments, summer 2020 and January 2021, are perfect examples of why this conference is so relevant today, particularly as we examine those with layers of privilege and those with marginalized identities who are still living in polar opposite worlds. Now I want to focus our attention on what's happening here on our campus. We have had some situations happen here right at Iowa State. Just visit the Campus Climate website and you will see a list of inappropriate, disrespectful, and rude behavior from some of our students and faculty and staff. 22 of the 34 recorded events since November 2019 were directed to an individual or a group of individuals based on race. 22 times, people on our campus felt threatened, scared, or targeted because of the color of their skin. We know that there are more unreported incidents that have happened on our campus. We may have heard some of those examples of how our community members were treated during this actual conference. These are real, hurtful situations for our friends, students, and colleagues, and this cannot continue. I'd like to speak directly to our students here at ISCORE today because I've been where you are. I truly understand why some of you may not feel safe here on our campus. As an undergraduate student at Michigan State University, I vividly remember my own experience of being targeted as I walked back to my residence hall one evening and had two white men drive by and scream obscenities and racial epithets at myself and several others as we walked home from a Black Student Union meeting. I was scared, confused, and hurt. I couldn't understand how this could be happening, particularly on a campus of higher learning. To the students of color at Iowa State, I see you. We see you. We understand your challenges and have a deep desire to improve your Iowa State experience. You were promised an adventure at Iowa State, and I'm not afraid that not all of you listening may feel like it's been an adventure. I hope collectively we can find the strength to change that. The Iowa State University administration is here to serve all students and works to reach the goal identified in our strategic plan to improve the ISU experience for underrepresented students by enhancing a transparent, diverse, and inclusive environment. We are working diligently to improve our reporting systems, training and education, and bystander intervention programs on our campus. We are constantly identifying campus climate issues and forecasting potential populations who may be impacted by local and national incidents. But we understand that there is work to be done. We understand many of you watching right now may feel frustrated when it comes to addressing concerns on our campus. As my predecessor would say, progress, not perfection. This is why I came to Iowa State in August in the middle of a pandemic to serve as your vice president for student affairs, because I saw progress already in motion, but I also knew that there was work to be done. I made a commitment to come to work every day, ready to work for students, and I will keep my promise. Like all of you, I'm human. The ISU administration is made up of real-life human beings. We strive for perfection, yet often fall short, just like all of you. I have good days and bad days. I celebrate wins and refocus after a loss. I ask for help. We all need help to do our best work. We cannot do this work alone. We must know what's really going on in our classrooms, residence halls, student organizations, and events in order for us to make change. That's where you, the students, come in. We need you to be the eyes and ears to identify things we don't always hear or see. As an institution, and I'm talking to all of us, we cannot afford to continue to talk the talk and not walk the walk. I'm asking all of you to be brave. Being brave isn't easy, nor is it very glamorous. We've seen political figures and celebrities canceled because they did what was right, even though it hurt or damaged their reputation, or even pulled them from the spotlight. I recognize that speaking out can be difficult. It requires us to be vulnerable. You have to stand up to your peers, which is very hard. Bravery isn't supposed to win us awards. It's deep within each of us. To be brave takes effort and grit, even when no one is watching. I understand that we are asking a lot of you to speak out. And some of you may feel exhausted because you feel like you're the only ones doing the hard work. I feel that weight too, and it is heavy. Others joining me in the conversation today may be energized because this is the first time that you've been able to fully engage in these types of conversations. If you are one of those people, I hope you harness that energy. Regardless of where you are in your journey, please continue this work because history is happening right now. We must be brave enough to change its course. We also need to be innovative. When we think of innovation, we think of science, architecture, business, or other areas completely outside of some of our wheelhouses. We often don't think of innovation in connection to diversity, equity, or inclusion. But there are opportunities for us to be innovative all around us. What creative new ways can we infuse equality and diversity in our classrooms, living spaces, and community centers? What small changes could make a big impact? Innovation leads to progress, and that is what we seek, progress. We need to focus on what we can do so that our campus and our world are more inclusive. What do you want Iowa State to look like, to feel like? When students come to this campus 10 or 20 years from now, what experiences and opportunities do we want from them? Conversely, what if we don't take action? What if we sit by and do nothing? I was recently reminded of a quote by Audre Lorde that reads, "When we speak, we are afraid our words will not be heard or welcomed. But when we are silent, we are still afraid. So it is better to speak." No matter the situation, it is better to speak. Let's hold each other accountable. Students, hold our faculty and staff accountable. Faculty and staff, let's make sure our students have the tools to be heard and feel that their voice matters. This is our campus. Let's change the narrative. Now, students, I want you to take a deep breath. Think about the learning you gained from this conference. Reflect on the important action that is needed from you. Regardless of your experiences, your background, or your position here at Iowa State, you can make a difference. Each of you have a sphere of influence. Your influence can reach your friends, roommates, family, classmates, club members, and so on. Write down some ideas that you can bring up in these spaces. Again, we are looking for progress, not perfection. You can lead conversations about policy and practice. You can engage with campus administrators to voice your experiences, concerns, or ideas that can ultimately lead to significant change. You can change the culture so others who come after you feel more welcomed and a sense of belonging. I'd like to offer a few suggestions to help us stay the course and initiate positive change on our campus, even though this conference is coming to an end. First, we must take action. Report what you see or hear on campus and speak up for those who can't speak for themselves. Now, I'll be honest, I understand that law enforcement doesn't always feel like a safe resource for some of you. You may feel triggered from a previous experience and don't always trust them during a moment of crisis. However, I urge you to utilize the ISU police to immediately report a safety or wellness concern. Their staff is on call 24/7, and they are here to serve all of our community. Next, find a staff or faculty member with whom you feel comfortable sharing your experiences. This individual can provide you with resources you may need in the moment and connect you with others as you navigate a particular situation for the future. I'm happy to be that person that you can come to when you need support or help finding guidance. And our Campus Climate website has an online form that you can complete at any time. This report is sent to university administrators to respond and act to your concerns. Number 2, engage with the opportunities available on our campus. There are a lot of events and ways to meet others who are passionate about race and ethnicity on campus and within the Ames community. First, we have numerous organizations comprised of students who have ideas and passions to discuss these topics regularly. Find a group that you can connect with, where you can express yourself and your ideas. Second, ISU departments offer presentations, workshops, and listening sessions. I recommend following the INCORE ISCORE office, Multicultural Student Affairs, the Office of the Vice President for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, as well as ISU lectures on social media to learn more about upcoming events and programs. Next, the Ames community provides residents venues to engage as well. The Ames Public Library, local businesses, and the Ames Human Relations Commission are just 3 examples of where you can find connection and engage with others outside of the Iowa State campus. Finally, the INCORE ISCORE project welcomes students to apply to be members of a cohort to experience the National Conference on Race and Ethnicity and participate in year-round discussions with faculty and staff in and outside of the classroom. If you are interested, please visit the ISCORE website and apply by March 15th. Number 3, Keep educating yourself. Pay attention to what is going on in our city, state, and throughout the country. Stay connected to conversations about law, policy, and practices that may impact you or those around you. Understand the scope of the impact and how your voice can be heard when important topics are discussed and considered. Students, please know that I am here for you. I am optimistic that we can work together to inspire others and implement action on our campus. Please join me in these efforts long after we leave this conference today. I'd like to say a final thank you to Japana Kellogg and Joelle Mitchell, who are the full-time staff leading the INCORE ISCORE project. Their commitment to ISCORE is what makes this experience so powerful each year. If this conference has impacted you, please send them a note of congratulations and thanks. And finally, thank you for coming on this journey with me and your Iowa State family this week. I truly hope that you will take to heart what was shared in these spaces to be innovative, to be brave, and to take action now, tomorrow, and in the future. Thank you so much for your participation in this very timely conversation. I hope you enjoy the rest of the day and have a great weekend.
Wow. I got some stuff to say, but I have to say, wow. I got my sign that says thank you. Thank you for those remarks. I would say thank you to all the people that have participated, from the presenters to the volunteers, and in all fairness, this project has been a passion. It's been a passion. It's been a growth opportunity. It's one of those things that I don't even know what it would look like if I wasn't doing it. And it hopefully that's what's contagious. I care dearly about the project, mainly because people care about the project. And so when I think about leading into this year, I was like, okay, we're not going to be able to do anything close to what we did last year. And for those that are numbers people, we did 1,900 people that engaged in some form or fashion. And this couldn't be done without all the people that are involved. And as Dr. Younger said, Iowa State's not perfect, but you know, sometimes things are disguised as opportunity. And so I'm willing to do the work to help change the place. And I hope that you are too. So I'm not going to overtalk this situation. I'm just going to say thank you. And as Dr. Younger asked you all to send Joelle and I a note, I would say if you attended a session today and there were one or two takeaways, other than the evaluation that you did complete, you'll have access to this format for 180 days. You can go back and contact the person that did the presentation and tell them what you gained and what you thought was useful. So we can just give everybody a good virtual hug and whatnot, and look forward to being in space together. So again, my sign says thank you, and I'll end with that. This concludes ISCORE 2021.